I'm Dr. Marnie, and today I'm going to show you how to install one of my countertop pre-filters with your Enagic ionizer. We're going to do the installation on an SD501 unit, but the installation will be exactly the same regardless of which Enagic ionizer you have. When you get your filter from me, you're going to have three pieces in the box. You'll have the filter itself, which there are other versions that have 3 or rarely even 4 towers to them. Typically it's 2, so this is the most common. You'll have a piece of the Enagic white hose, and you'll have a filter wrench. The filter wrench you just put away for safekeeping later on. You're going to use it to open these compartments later when you need to change the internal cartridges. So we're going to just put that out of the way. Typically, your filter will come with brass barbed fittings installed on both sides like this. There's a rare chance it won't, and you'll need a wrench to install these. So I'm just going to show you quickly what it looks like if they aren't on there, in case you do need to install them. So that could happen if you had an under-counter filter, you were switching it to a countertop, or there are other rare reasons. So you might get the filter with an empty fitting or a different type fitting in there that you just remove with the wrench, and then the brass fitting looks like this by itself. The threads that go into the filter and the barb that the hose is going to go over. If you're getting it uninstalled, you want to wrap the white plumber's Teflon tape around here. I've already got it on, so I'm not going to do it. But you would cut a piece about 2 inches long, wrap it clockwise around the threads, and then screw that in. You're going to always need to tighten this with a wrench. You cannot get it tight enough with your hand. So you have your adjustable wrench. Remember your righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And tighten it till it just gives good resistance to your finger. You don't want to over-tighten it because you could potentially crack the plastic. Alright. Now we're going to install this at the diverter here. So the first step is to disconnect. You can have the, you can keep all of this on, and we're just going to unscrew this cap. This is just a rubber gripper that helps me. So that's a very handy dandy tool. So unscrew that, and then wiggle the hose off. There we go. Now, oftentimes from being on this nipple, the hose gets a little stretched out, and you're going to just use any kitchen scissors to just cut that stretched off part right off like that. And the other key is if you turn the filter over, you're going to just see, you're not going to be able to see this on the camera, but right where my finger is pointing, it says in, and over here it says out. Those words are stamped in the plastic. You'll see them when you're holding the filter. So, we took the white hose off of the diverter. This is going to go to the side labeled out, which was this side. I'm just going to push that over the barb fitting and just push it all the way on. It slides on quite easily. If you have any trouble, run hot water over this to soften it, then push it on. Now we're going to take the hose that came with the filter, and we're going to put one side of it over the fitting that was on the inside. That one was a little tougher, but it slid over. And the other one is going to go onto the diverter. So take the screw cap that came off the diverter from there, push the end of the hose through, and I'm noticing that this one's cut a little bit on an angle, so I'm going to recut it so it's straight. Oops. Push this over the end. You're going to have to wiggle it a little bit, push it, oops, all the way on. And again, if you have trouble, run it under hot water to soften up the hose, and then just screw this on tight. Again, I'm going to use my rubber gripper to really get that tight. Alright, now I'm going to just maneuver this so that the filter is behind. Before I move the ionizer, I'm going to take the electrolysis solution out. I'm going to scooch that forward. You want to make sure none of your hoses are kinked. And we'll just move that back in place. Beautiful. That was that. So now we have to run water through the filters to flush out any loose carbon particles and activate the media. So we're just going to flip the machine to ion. Very important, turn the power off and unplug the ionizer. Now just run water through. Because there's air in those filter cartridges, we'll get a little sputtering.